is going to be that Viego. I completely blew over my mind. I was too busy thinking about 4 legs with Lilia and Hecarim. I completely forgot about the 2-legged scary man himself from the Shadow Isles, Viego. So excited to see him being played. I mean, he's one of the best champions I think to watch. And it'll be interesting to see how he does in this game.
Well, hopefully he's a little bit more of a entertaining, absolute cinema pick this time around, whereas last week it was kind of just like, yes, they've picked Viego, things are going to go happy, life is bright, the grass is getting greener outside, greener than my green screen, but then it actually came to reality and it was literally just as dark as the Shadow Isles. So it'd be really interesting to see if the Baguette with Sauerkraut can actually give us some plays that we need with Viego to give us some hope, or in the case of the Shadow Isles, not much hope, but despair, because clearly they run on despair in the Shadow Isle. But over to the side of 4J1V, they pick up the Ornn as a prio pick, so making sure they lock down that Ornn for their side this time around, because it was actually a really good pick on the side of Baguette with Sauerkraut. Got caught out every so often, but in the end, it was crucial with those like 3-man knockups when there was sort of like aggressing the lanes and stuff like that. But then they lock in the Lee Sin as well, so we're actually getting some two-legged inclusion in the jungle, and I'm all here for it. I'm all here for it, Stu. I need it right now.
Going to be really interesting to see how this goes around. Cardi going to be picked up again. Wasn't really the most comfortable game in the end for the Patterson in the Baron lane, but maybe this Gragas is going to be picked up as well. Could this be Gragas support maybe? I'm not really too sure where these champions are going right now on the side of Baguette. I mean, Akali can go in top or mid lane. Gragas can go top, jungle, mid, support. Viego most likely going to go in the jungle. I don't think Viego is going to be in any one of the 2 lanes. So really interesting pick up here. But as you mentioned, the Ornn being taken away, I think is very smart by 4J1V. Also Lee Sin, that was banned against them in game number 1. They're taking that one away as well to go on to Baluz, and they have a more aggressive pick this time in the Baron lane with that Hecarim. So a pretty different draft this time around. You know, a few new picks coming out this time, and it looks like ADCs are still going to be the priority here for 4J1V to try and ban away from Mumu.
Yeah, I mean, definitely keeping us guessing, Stu. So I can imagine that the enemy team's just as clueless as us, because it's just sort of like, where's these going? Okay, we'll just have to wait till the bigger picture is put out there. We need the Bob Ross of Wild Rift to paint us that lovely picture with those happy little clouds, so we know where those people are going in that draft. But if you look over to the side of 4J1B, it's a little bit more of a clearer picture, because obviously Lee Sin's not going to go anywhere else other than the jungle. Ornn is more likely going to go down into the support lane, because Renekton's been picked there. Depending on what their mid lane pick is, Renekton could go in the mid lane and Ornn go up to the Baron lane. But again, it's just all waiting for those happy little clouds to come through in this 4th and 5th pick on both of these teams. But we're already seeing quite a ADC-centric ban phase going through there. We see the Ezreal for, obviously, Mumu had a fantastic first game on that bans. One. Zeri come through, and then obviously the Zyre as well. So
what's left?
Asol, I mean, that's it. I mean, we'll probably see some Caitlyn gameplay or something, I guess. GG. Let's see what comes through for the ADCs on the side of both of these teams. I suppose they could go with the Corki, but again, that could be a mid lane pick.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I guess it's going to be a Lucian as well. Yep, that's also another pick that's up and available. I mean, so many ADCs bans, and these are, you know, 5 of the best ADCs, you know, Varus, Xayah, Zeri, Ezreal, and Kai'Sa all being banned away. So you kind of have to go down to the likes of the Corki, even though it can still be played in mid. I don't think it will be played in mid. I think we'll just go down the bot lane, because you don't really have too much choice. You have a lot more choice in terms of mid lane picks. So Jax is going to go in the Baron lane. It is going to be the Gragas support that I predicted, and then Lucian as well in the ADC. So more aggressive bot lane now for Mumu and his supports. And now what 4JV going to round out this lineup with? Is it going to be an ADC, or is it going to be a mid laner? That is probably a mispick. I would assume that is the mispick. Unless they're doing some crazy shenanigans, but they're probably going to redo the drafts. Can we get some confirmation from the I can't think of the word from the holy moly, what's the word?
You've got this, Stu. I believe in you.
Staff. Oh my god, why did it take so long to think of the name staff? Yeah, I don't think this Kane pick is actually a pick. They're not even swapping roles or anything, so I'm assuming that there was a problem during draft or a mispick or something in the end, but I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the message to come up saying we are redoing drafts.
Is it going to happen? Is it ever going to come through? They're teasing us. They're teasing us, Stu. They're teasing us. It's like,
is it not going to happen? I'm so confused then. What is going on? What happened?
Maybe the J baiting. Maybe the J baiting.
What happened? Why have we got a Kane picked?
There we go.
Quick remake draft. See, I knew it.
We got it.
I knew it'd be a quick remake draft. See, I knew it, and now that means we just have to wait longer, which makes our day even longer.
If King K was on the team, I'd understand the fact that he'd probably go for some sort of strange ADC.
Kane ADC?
Yeah, why not? He's done AD Jaina before, so I don't see why not. The guys from a different planet. And I don't mean Germany is a different planet. Let's see what happens and what actually does get filled out in that last little bit of draft very soon. But was it the support that was looking at going for on that one? Because I feel like that's the only thing.
No, I think it was the mid lane. They had the Jeunes already. They had the Jeunes already as support. They had the Lee Sin, they had the Corki, and also the Renekton. So they were either thinking of putting a Corki in mid lane and picking a mid laner, or putting a Corki in the mid lane and finding another AD carry. But I think, as I mentioned, with the AD carries, they will have to go really far down on the tier list, basically, to try and find something.
Absolutely.
And look to dash in afterwards. I think the Gragas pick in the support role would be very, very interesting. But here we go. Game number 2 between Baguette and 4J1V. We're going to get the Chroma Crush Gragas onto the Rift as well, which is going to be quite fun. Looks like Heste, unfortunately, took the wrong rune. He has Grasp instead of... I can't think of the name. My
Glacial Augment?
The names are completely go.
Glacial Augment?
Yes, that's the one. The names are flying over my head now, Blam. It's getting to that time of the evening where the things are going over my head and I don't even know what's being said anymore. But yes, looks like he did go for the wrong rune. I mean, Grasping Undying, you're never really going to proc in this bot lane. You know, it's not like a Baron lane matchup. It's just like tank versus bruiser and you're able to auto attack. In the bot lane, it's going to be a lot more difficult because you have them range AD carries by your side as well. And that's why you saw last game with Ornn taking Glacial Augment. Once you get that knock up, you could do so much more afterwards as well. So bit of a mispick in the end by Heste, but hopefully that won't mean a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't, but I mean, Baguette with Sogro going into game 2 with already 1 point up is probably the best place for them in terms of mental and stuff like that. But do we reckon that this game's going to be as close as game 1, or what do we reckon going forward? I mean, with the likes of Viego being picked up rather than the now boring Hecarim and Lilia, I feel like 4 games in a row is probably enough for me to see Hecarim and Lilia for a lifetime. So if I see that come through in the final, I'll probably just go mute in pure protest. But the Renekton and the Jax are definitely going tit-for-tat in the Baron lane. There's no clear winner going on just yet. But I feel like with the Lee Sin and the Jace on the roam, we could see a 3v1 dive here. But it looks like Jax is predicting that engage, though, with the thanks to the vision coming through. There's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to retreat between turret 1 and turret 2 because those guys are rotating around, and I do not want to be caught with my trousers around my ankles, says Jax. So, well played with the vision there, not back from Baloo's, trying to keep himself alive. He manages to dash out, but there goes Slam Dunk from Viego, but it just wasn't quite enough damage onto the Lee Sin, but picks up first blood is the Renekton in the Baron lane, and then a double kill onto the Viego.
Yep, really nice double kill there from Exa in the Baron lane, showing the power of this Renekton in the early game. Once you get the ultimate up and available, as the tower dive seems to come in the bot lane here as well. Looks like Gragas is going to trade his life, but Heste is also going to go down. It's a 2-for-2 trade in the bot lane, but to be honest, that 2-for-2 trade does go in Baguette's favor because both the kills went onto that Lucian, which is going to give him a bit of extra gold. But as you mentioned, that double kill for Renekton. Really unfortunate that the Viego ultimate didn't do enough damage in the end, which was so unfortunate. I feel like if that Viego ultimate came through and if it did enough damage, then it would have been really big because he would have got that reset of the passive. But for now, it's just going to mean that both the teams are still going to be pretty even, but this Renekton is going to be really difficult now for Patterson to deal with in this Baron lane.
Yeah, you know for a fact that Viego's listening to some Linkin Park right now, because in the end there just wasn't enough damage on his ult, and in the end it doesn't really matter because there is a serve knock up there from the Ornn, and then gets passed on to the Renekton once again. Exa on this pickup is huge, taking that double kill again. No, so it was one kill to him, and then was it a kill over to the Jeunes as well? Yes, it was. Got a bit carried away with my simping for Renekton there in the Baron lane, but could see a Gragas 2v1 here. We do see the bully who misses out that first ability onto the Gragas, so there'll be no trying to bait him into a fight there. It's all down to this Jeunes taking a 2v1. The barrel comes through, explosive barrel, but he does knock back both the Gragas and the Jax right now. But there is a bit of a convergence there between red team and two low health champions as the Ornn and the Renekton rotate around, but it's a lot of CC going through from the Gragas and the Jax, and there is a shutdown onto the Renekton. Currently a 4v2 dive under the Baron lane turret, and again stealing the soul of the Jeunes, sorry. Managing to have to get out of there to try and rethink about taking Hestes down under that Baron lane turret.
Yeah, this pick from Final Acts really showing how Viego can really run over the team fights. All he really needs is one reset, and then he can just keep jumping over and over again, taking the soul of the Lee Sin at the start, being able to dive in with the ultimate again, doing incredibly well. But now they're kind of a little bit away from tempo in terms of being out on the map in time for these objectives. So it looks like they're just going to lose a Rift Herald this time around and maybe go for the Dragon instead. As to say that, it looks like the Baguette want to try and look for this fight. The Ornn ultimate comes out, but that's a really early Ornn ultimate here by Heste, and that might prove dividends in this match, as it looks like Patterson is trying to take the fight to 4J1V at the moment, but the Corki package comes out over the Rift Herald. Who's going to secure the objective? It is going to be the Corki with the package, and now the fight is going to try and turn into the favor of 4J1V. The Gragas ultimate is able to split the fight, but they're so low health across the board here. You can see that Random's trying to dash over the wall with the Akali. Can't do it in the end, so it's a 2-for-0 trade, or 2-for-1 trade, I should say. But the Rift Herald does go over to the side of 4J1V on the Corki.
Yes, so you could kind of say that the victory does definitely go over to the side of 4JV, because they do get the Rift Herald, stopping any sort of like aggressive assault on either of these lanes. And it looks like Baguette with Sauerkraut going to manage to pick up that Ice Dragon. Very close, 2 though. HP. It was too clutch on the side of Baguette with Sauerkraut right now. They do drop the Rift Herald down in the mid lane. I don't think it'll take it out just yet. There is still a little bit of help on there. They're trying to keep that first tier turret in the mid lane alive, it seems, but is it going to be enough of an effort for the side of Baguette with Sauerkraut? No, they do lose it as well without taking any kills, but Lucian goes down, and there goes that all knock up going onto the Jax as well, but there's no advancements on the side of 4JV, unfortunately, to try and pick up the potential kill onto the Jax. UI having to push away the Lee Sin, because I think like that 1v1 would have definitely gone into favor of Viego there.
And trying the hardest there to try and get the advantage, trying to get the extra kills, as Random's looking for a kill in this bottom side of the map as well. Can't get the third ability off in the end. Is going to try and dive underneath the tower anyway. One more first ability takes the kill for Random as well. So he wins a 1v1 in the bot lane. This looks very similar to the first game. Blam, where it's just really back and forth. Both teams are just trading kills, trading objectives, and there's no real clear runaway in terms of the early game, because anything can really happen in this game, as Heste is looking for the engage onto Patterson. Unfortunately misses the knock up in the end. They're still trying to play aggressive though. The Hex Flash from the Gragas over the wall, and Patterson's still trying to fight 2 versus 1 in this top side. He's actually doing really well so far, but he needs to be careful he doesn't go too far. But the body slam from the Gragas in the end, and Patterson does die in the end, but the Ornn ultimate from downtown gets dodged, gets flashed away from the Gragas. There's no way he survives this, right? The tower's going to go down at the end. The Gragas is going to die. I thought he just made the outplay of the century there, but meanwhile, whilst this was all happening in the top lane, 2 towers for Baguette went down in the bottom side, and a solo kill for Lucian in the mids. There's just fights happening everywhere, Blam. It's so difficult to keep track of.
I mean, you feel bad for us. I mean, the spectator has to try and keep up with all this thing that's going on. We have to prioritize certain fights over others, but like you said, there's just too much to even think like which one is going to be weighing out better here, because we have some outplays at the center coming through, we have some solo kills coming through, we have some turrets being taken down in the dragon lane as well. So there's just too much going on, and there's just too much aggression on the side of BWS here, looking for another turret pickup in the Baron lane as well. Jax and Akali very close by, just in case that Jace tries to jump in onto the Jax, but it looks like Jace got a little bit of a whiff of the Akali in their jungle thanks to that vision, so he wasn't going to go in and try and take a 2v1 against Jax and Akali, but Baluz is here in the wrong jungle. He doesn't want to get caught out there. He has the mid lane turret to retreat back to, so he does have a bit of a advantage there in that engage, but it looks like there's a bit of an assault looking to brew up here in that mid lane. We have Jax coming through, looking to get that counter strike onto the Lee Sin, manages to connect it, but then we have Viego going into the back line onto the Lee Sin, as well as Jax picking up the kill onto the Ornn, and they take the mid lane turret, but Renekton is able to take a little bittersweet victory there by taking their dragon lane turret. Corki is looking pretty low. We see that they managed to steal the soul of the Corki. The package is coming in. Are they able to take the inhibitor right now? Because there is minions there, but Jace is also there with the Renekton to try and stop that minion push in the mid lane to take the inhibitor as well.
I was just thinking for a second. I was like, hold on, why is Viego building a Manimune? And then I realized, like, he was on the Corki soul, and that's why it looked like the Viego was building the Manimune. I completely forgot that he steals the items as well, but the Gragas is going to get picked off in the end. But overall, really strong team fight. A great flank from Final Wax as well, being able to use the ultimate over the wall. They're going to try and get back out onto the map as quick as possible to try and take away this dragon as well, but I don't think they're going to risk it. They're just going to play it safer now and play around, trying to farm up and get more objectives. But this is a super exciting series to watch. It's like I said, it's so back and forth. There's so many ways in which these fights can go, and it makes it all the more entertaining to watch. As you see, Final Wax and Ramden now both looking for the flank, but no, that Scrying Orb is going to catch out both of you. And now Final Wax needs to be a little bit careful. Use the ultimate to escape. The Ornn ultimate actually misses, and maybe Final Wax can escape. He does on 1 HP. It's the Ornn ultimate in the end that actually saves him, and now the kill goes in favor of Baguette instead. And meanwhile, there's a fight happening in the mid lane between Patterson. The flash forward, the auto attack in the end. The kill onto Patterson, but the trade kill back in the end from Corki. And again, it's just trade back and forth, a 1-for-1 here or there. It's a 2-for-1 trade for now. And again, it's only a 4,000 gold difference. But even with this gold difference being so low, again, it just feels like that Baguettes are on the front foot here. The flash forward from the Gragas, the knock into the Lucian. That's another kill. Random trying to go for the outplay in the top lane. Another kill for Baguettes. And I feel like Baguette are really finding the momentum now in this game. And now they're going to try and lock down the Ornn. They are just finding picks in the top lane, in the mid lane, and in the bot lane as well, doing incredibly well. Looked like for a second there that Final Wax was going to die, even though he had the soul of the Ornn. 9 HP tower. Wait, Did Random just die to the tower?
Yeah.
He died to the tower. Oh, no. Out of all of this happening and all the excitement, of course something crazy had to happen that we just didn't expect.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we say about that 4,000 gold. Obviously, it's now more like your 5,000 gold difference, not being a lot. But if you look down at the bottom of the scoreboard, where that difference is making the real difference in this game, because Viego is currently sitting on 12k compared to the Lee Sin that's on 9k as well. So that's 3k gold already, pretty much in the jungle alone, which is really showing the effect that this Viego has when he's ahead with the gold. But then it's not only that, you have the Lucian at 11k, and then Corki as well, behind by 2k gold. However, speaking of the Lucian, he almost got caught out there, but Renekton was able to pick up the Gragas as he was trying to deny the kill onto the Lucian, as we have Patterson trying to split push with these minions and take the inhibitor as well. He manages to secure the first inhibitor of the game, but it is going to die. The counter-strikes are going to come through, but he's not going to go down without swinging.
He's going to get the Corki? They're going to try and turn towards the Baron. The Baron gets secured in the end. The Baron gets secured for Baguette. The inhibitor gets secured from Baguette as well. Unstoppable for Random in the end, and it just looks all too clean now for Baguette. Really well played by Patterson. Nearly even got the kill in the end as well onto Corki with that trade. But with the Baron buff now, they're going to look to try and secure this second game.
Absolutely. We saw a great little fight there between both of these teams, and Baguette with Semifinals still definitely have the advantage here with about 8k gold difference now. So again, I don't think there's much that 4JV can actually do with the difference here. With losing 2 of the inhibitors as well, it's going to be pretty fatal for them. I think it's just a calm before the storm. Just got to make sure that the Gragas, it doesn't get caught out here, or Random on the Akali as well. So just have to be super duper careful in terms of these next few team fights, unfortunately. But yes, it looks like it's going to be a easy 2-0 here for Baguette with Sauerkraut, it seems.
Yeah, it looks like Patterson looks to try and split push now in this Baron lane. This Jax pick can just bring so much pressure. You're seeing he is bringing all 5 members to this Baron lane, and guess what? He doesn't even die for it as well. He has the backup from the rest of his team. The Corki package is coming in, but the Corki package just went straight onto the Lucian. We've just one-shot the Corki in the end, and the team fight's about to happen as well. Viego is getting the resets. He's trying to get the kill onto Renekton. He takes the soul of Renekton. He's trying to dive onto the Jeunes as well, and guess what? He's going to take that soul of Jeunes eventually as well, probably. Actually, he might not even have enough time. Mumu's just going to end the game instead. No quadra kill, sorry, this time for the Viego, but another win for Baguette, making this series 2-0.
Yes, unfortunately, it's looking like what the Victor Team France from last week is going to be beaten by the not official Team France, because I believe they do have just some German and other players on the team, unfortunately, for the side of 4JV. But just looking at those skills on the board, just 6-2 on the Viego. This is probably the best Viego performance we've seen over the past 2 weeks as well. But then picking up onto Lucian with the 27k damage compared to anything on the side of 4JV is just nowhere near close. And then, like we saw, a little bit of a different story with the gold graph